the next panel we're going to have is around the possibilities of poetry in the blockchain. And it's going to be presented by Amelie, Lasker, Garrett Brill, and Marcos de la Fuente. Please give it up for them.
Hello, beautiful people. So, we are poets and writers up here, and my group asked me if we could share a little poem to start. So if you guys would like to hear it, it's called Non-Fungible Life. I think you're going to like it. So let's take one big, deep breath together. Years ago, I was lost, caught up in the rat race, until I realized this one life, it cannot be replaced. This life is non-fungible. Others like it, there are none. Sure, you could take a screenshot, but this was minted one of one. Check the blockchain, homie. You know I'm speaking truth. We all have our unique traits. There's nothing quite like you. But our time on earth is ticking, so you better act soon. Believe in yourself, and you're going to the moon. Trust that inner compass, because deep down you know that you came here to shine. Let's fucking go. So I am here with Amy Lasker, and we got Marcos de la Fuente.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
So I just want to first say, this community is so special. I think that if you go to another conference and you meet people, it's just a really open environment. People are willing to meet, and people are really open-minded. And I just want to say I'm super grateful that these are my panelists, because these are two of the favorite people that I've met this week. And just wanted to say thank you all for being a part of this community. And I would like to first just ask the panelists to introduce themselves and share a little bit about yourself.
I can go. I'm Amelie Lasker. I'm a co-founder of Alexandria Labs, which is bringing books to blockchain and creating the great digital library of the multiverse. I'm also a writer, and I'm based in Brooklyn. Yeah. Do you want to go? Okay. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm Marcos de la Fuente. I am poet. I am performer. I am also the host of the Body Poetry Club, the Se Buscan Poetas. We wanted for poets that happened yesterday and was so amazing. I am the head of the project of the group. Poetry plus AI is art that we are going to speak later. And it's a pleasure to be here in this amazing community. Thank you.
My name is Garrett Brill. I'm a spoken word artist, and I love to share words that I needed in times of need and understanding. And when I share, I just hope that you feel something too. And I'm just happy to be here with these two rock stars over here. I would love to know, when we think about poetry and literature on the blockchain, most of the time we think about digital art, we think of visuals. Why are you both choosing to be on the blockchain and doing NFTs with poetry and literature?
So have any of you ever used Library Genesis or Z Library? It's like a database. It's completely illegal. They've got like every ebook in the world on there. It was made by Russian computer scientists who were trying to get past censorship. What's amazing about it is it makes information accessible. What's not amazing is that because it's illegal, no one who created the books is getting money for what they created. So my co-founder and I have had a dream for a long time of making something that solves this problem, makes a legal version of Library Genesis. And it feels like Web3 solves that problem because it creates a place where books can be stored permanently. That's what, storage is super important with NFTs. That's what the last talk was about. But also in a decentralized way where authors or the creators or the academics, whoever made it, can kind of interact with the readers and the buyers and collectors directly, receive that money, without, my platform can't take it down, Amazon can't take it down, no one can take those down. So
I love that. Thank you. Marcos, why poetry on the blockchain?
Well, I think that absolutely poetry is necessary on the blockchains, and also the blockchains is necessary on poetry. It's in two directions, it's two ways. But I think that there is no future without poetry. We need the poetry in the future. We need the poetry for a better world, and we now are building the next world, the new world. And I think we must build that world with poetry, with art, with things that transform that world. Plenty of machines, plenty of digital things. We must go with the poetry to this world, and also for all the poets that is in the world, these new things, these NFT things, these metaverse things, we can create great community around the world for be connected, for share our work. Then there is these two ways that now the poets is starting to write with new words, with words that is coming to the society, to the main people, words like metaverse, words like blockchains, words like NFT, words like crypto, that in the first time for the regular people sounds words, but if we introduce in the poetry, if we introduce that words in the poetry, they are going to transform in normal words. We are transforming this world, and I think the poets must be there.
I love that. I'm thinking about little nodes of love and poetry on the blockchain, and we got to infiltrate it, right?
Exactly, totally.
I actually got to go to a performance last night that he put on, and he had an Oculus on, and he was not only in the Bowery Poetry Club, but he was performing in the metaverse version of the Bowery Poetry Club, and it was actually pretty stellar to experience. And everyone that was there, I don't know if anyone's here that was there, all felt like that was one of the coolest experiences they had been to in a poetry club. So thank you for putting that together. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. Yesterday we did the first hybrid reading that happened at the same time on the virtual world and the real world. Where we are doing the first thing that the Poets of the Future is going to do. No? Now all the readings are in a stage, in a club that is so cool. But in 10 years, we can experience, we can enjoy this reading in the metaverse that can be enjoyed for all the people in the world, poets in all the world. I mean, it's not necessary that you come to New York to go to the Bowery Poetry Club, to the legendary Bowery Poetry Club. Now the Bowery Poetry Club is in the metaverse, and you can enjoy wherever you are.
It's pretty awesome. Amelie, do you want to tell us a little bit more in depth about your project? You did share us why you're doing it, but can you tell us a little bit more about how it's going to work and how you see the vision?
Totally. So our big dream is to create a knowledge sharing protocol where every person in their library of books that they've created or that they own, if they're a publisher, is like a node that you put it into the protocol, and then readers can access the books and run deep search on them because they are platformless. They can be indexed and searched by any other protocol. To start that, we're doing a simpler consumer brand where authors and publishers can publish their work as NFTs. The books themselves are stored on the permaweb, and then the NFTs help to unlock that work. And also, there are different ways that we're experimenting with monetizing it, and some other awesome groups like Mirror, the Verseverse, they're exploring other ways to monetize. What we're trying to do is writing in public, where an author can publish a chapter and people can support it as it's coming out. And yeah, that's what we're doing.
Amazing. Do you see tokenization coming along the ride with what you're doing? Do you see that integrating into what you're doing? Yeah,
we want to have in the knowledge sharing protocol, we want to have a token model where readers put in tokens. I don't know if it's going to be like a subscription model or more like based on what you access. And then authors and publishers receive tokens based on the quality of their work. So not just like right now I have to buy a whole book on Amazon if I want to read it. For most ebooks are owned by Amazon, right? But what if you could pay based on if I just needed one page for something that I'm researching, or if I read a book 100 times because it's my favorite novel, I should pay differently for both of those.
I love that. And Marcos, do you want to talk a little bit about, so not only is he doing metaverse and not metaverse poetry, but he also does poetry where he puts it through AI, and then AI will display what it believes the poem is trying to express. Essentially, you're co-creating with technology. Do you want to talk about a little bit more about your project? And I think we actually have some slides to show too as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the project is, you can see poetry plus AI is art. And when we decided to go to the blockchains with the poetry, within that we must do something special. Not only the words, not only the verbs. And then now we're working with two AI engineers, and also with a code programmer. Then we take the verbs, we take the poetry and transform in digital art with the AI. Then, the project is always start on the paper, no? You start on the paper with a pen, and for me the point is the source, the river, the sea, the root, the tree, the leaves. Is all that starts at words, starts at poetry, and it grows and transforms into four things. We have four projects different with this poetry plus AI is art. The first is the performance, the spoken word with the music that you show something yesterday. Go to the stage and speak the poetry with the music and the visual generating by AI. This is one thing. The second thing is, of course, the NFT collections. No, AI generative NFT collections that now is at OpenSea, also are rareable. And this the poetry on the blockchains, but repeat, not only the verse, not only the word is generative image, something in movement, and others is static images created by the AI. Then this is so interesting because it's not only go to the blockchain with the poetry, it's work with the machine, it's feed the machine with poetry to create something new. We really believe in this because, of course, the algorithm is here, and you can escape. You can escape the algorithm. Then we think that we need feed the algorithm with poetry for this machine be close to the human. This is one of our goals. And this is because I'm really excited and I'm really happy to work with these engineers, AI engineers for IBM and these programmer codes. I mean, we the artists, we the poets, we need also the engineers with us. And in this case, I'm working not alone. I'm working in this collective, in this group. We are 4 or 5 people that work together to do all these pieces. The three.
Do you want to show us some of the pieces?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to show. Yeah, I'm going to show now. And the three things is physical pieces that we are work with physical pieces with 3D modeling and digital AI. Then we are not only in the digital world, we are also in the physical world with these pieces that have poetry and have artificial intelligence. And the last thing is we are training a digital poetic twin. We are training an artificial intelligence that is going to write poetry like me, because this digital twin is fed with my data and all the data that the poets that I love, that I like. Then it's not it's not a normal AI, because now there is 2 or 3 regular AIs that you can use for generate poetry. This is specifically AI. Then you can see one of the performance of the stage. The poem becomes it's physical thing. It's a physical thing. It's the voice that like now that come to you, and it's a live show designed to impact all the sense. It's the experience, it's the performance, the dance, the mix, the human, the unexpected, the expression, the communication, the language. It's a performance, and it is necessary, no? And it is necessary, the physical thing. We are now in a digital world, but not totally, no? We need this digital thing. And then this experience becomes digital with the AI, no? In the performance, you can see on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Marcos de la Fuente, if you want to look for. Then it's what I say, feed the machine with poetry. This is one of the images. A gram of Ethereum falls to the floor. And this image is entirely created by the AI. It's like New York, no? It seems like New York, but it's not a photo of New York. It's a unique image created by the AI based on the bears. Then every bears have his own image.
So essentially, you have a gram of Ethereum falls on the floor, and that art has just been produced through those words through AI.
Exactly. And the AI take the bears and transform into art image, no? You can see the motions of the machine that is drawing this special thing, no?
Thank you for sharing all that with us.
Thank you. And well, I spoke about the algorithm. Can you be infinity in a finite world? I think that is a good question. If somebody have the answer, please tell us. The machine is going to take us. Is matter of time. This is the physical piece, the brain, and it's also the algorithm. You can write on the typewriter, and the algorithm complete the verse to create the poem. No? This is other of the images generated by the AI, and it's the poetry leaving the page and coming to the blockchain. And that's the digital twin that you can see. Also, you can see yesterday.
Yep.
You can show yesterday, and now is. I mean, the performers, the poets can be totally digital, be even at the same time at the real world, and at the same time at the virtual world.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all this with us. Isn't that pretty cool? I mean, has everyone seen that AI production before through the words? This is the first time? A couple people. Cool. Amelie, I would love to know a little bit about when it comes to putting literature on the blockchain. I'm sure you're talking to writers and authors regularly. What do you feel like is the biggest barrier, or maybe the number one thing that you hear from them of why they don't want to, or their roadblocks?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confusion about like what NFT literature can be, and I think we're seeing like a lot of different ways people are exploring what it can be, because we all understand like, okay, it's a visual image. I know how that can be an NFT. Text, are you storing the text on chain? Are you, and there are different ways to do it. I think like some, especially on Tezos, people are actually putting text on the chain and collecting it. You can put an ebook file store it on the permaweb, and then have an NFT that points to it. You can have books that kind of can be unlocked in different ways, like NFTs that unlock based on different things that happen. But I think that that's really what's tough, and that also to me is a big barrier to like a lot of different things going into blockchain. People just not understanding what is possible there. Yeah, that's my tip. What about you, Garrett? Why do you want to put things on chain that you write or
Thank
not?
you. What was the question? Sorry, I'm noticing her, and I'm noticing that our clock has the main number blocked, so I don't know how much.
3 minutes, 23 seconds.
We have 3 more minutes, guys. Yeah. Can you ask the question again?
Yes,
sorry.
no, I wanted to ask you, why are you thinking about putting your poetry on chain, and what might stop you?
I'm going to say double. One thing is exactly what our dear friend said here. I want more love and I want more connection on the blockchain. And so everything that I think about doing is sharing my art, which will bring people into IRL experiences, whether that's going on retreats in foreign countries like Costa Rica or bringing people together. And I want people to remember that we are human and that we need to connect. And anything that I ever do on the blockchain will be to bring people IRL and get to meet in person, because that's what truly matters to me. So yeah, why don't we do one last share of where people can find you, and then I think we're going to be done.
I'm alexandrialabs.xyz, like the Library of Alexandria. Where can people find you? Social media.
I don't know.
Where people can find you?
Twitter.
You can find in the web. Our web is artpoet.io, or you can find Marcos de la Fuente, or Poetry plus AI is art.
Thank you. And I'm G_Link on Instagram and Garrett Brill on Twitter. And we thank you guys so much for our time. I think we're going to end with a quick message. Do we want to end with a quick message, or we have 45 seconds? Okay, we're going to wrap it up, but I'll wrap it up this way. I just want to remind everyone that one of my greatest teachers says, do not die with your music still in you. And so this is us right here, right now, sharing the music that we have inside. So I just implore you to find a way to follow that little whisper inside of your heart, and just follow it. And up until this point in my life, I wasn't ready. But time gave me patience. I wasn't ready, but failure gave me experience. I wasn't ready, but pain gave me purpose. I wasn't ready, but fear brought me to love. So remember, when you look up at the stars above, that you are one of those stars shining bright. They were once dark and dormant in the night until that one day, the star found just the right mixture to shine, with pieces of stardust that explode when they combine. We are that same stardust that floated here to earth. After millions of perfect mixtures, then came your birth. You are an absolute miracle. There's nothing you need to do. It took billions of years for the perfection of you. And in the infinity of both time and space, it's almost impossible. You ended up in this place. So with the strength of your spirit and your soul so divine, the mixture is ready. It's your time to shine. Thank you.